Let's jump on to Wikipedia so I can get all these matches correctly here so I don't miss any. But first, we did have Finn Balor take on Dragunov in the first match. I know I heard a lot of bickering on Twitter in a good way, saying that this could possibly be the match of the night. Finn Balor defeated Dragunov in a 14-minute opening match. What did you think of this match, Dave? We saw Finn Balor defeat Dragunov and to move on to go on to face what's his name? Johnny Gargano at the Portland TakeOver.
I thought it was a really good match. I thought it would have been a little bit better because it was still good, but it wasn't, to me, as good as Cesaro and Dragunov. Okay. I thought Dragunov and Cesaro was like match of the year candidate, and that one is great. But this one, it was still really good. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think it was on the same level.
It did kind of start a little bit rough, a little bit. Yeah, Dragunov kind of missed a couple of spots in the match. Some of the spots during the match kind of looked a bit silly, where I think at one point he looked like he was going to dive outside the ring and kind of just stopped, like kind of like a fake out, but it looked just awkward. It didn't look like it was planned to happen that way.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Okay, so Dave has to step away for a minute. Other than that, I thought this match was pretty solid. You had Finn Balor throw out some pretty vicious stomps onto Dragunov as well. But it was just kind of a showcase match a little bit for Dragunov. I'm not going to say it was probably his best performance. Like Dave said, his performance against Cesaro was probably a lot better than what we saw tonight. But it was really more about Finn Balor gaining more momentum going up to NXT TakeOver Portland, where he'll be facing Johnny Gargano in a one-on-one matchup that we saw a little bit more fuel to the fire happen tonight, which we'll get into in a little bit. But what did you guys think of the match tonight between Balor and Dragunov? Did you enjoy it? No, he has to help his girlfriend with some groceries. So just bad timing on my part. Usually we don't go this early, but that's just how it rolls tonight. A little bit of a change. So yeah, just a basic one-on-one singles match between the two guys. Solid match. Kind of started off a little bit rough at the beginning. But once he got into it, the match, Finn Balor and Dragunov put on a pretty solid match to start off NXT UK Worlds Collide. We also had Kaylee Ray take on Mia Yim to start off the pre-show tonight. The match was pretty good. Kaylee Ray gets I believe she got the win. Yeah, she got the win over Mia Yim in a 9-minute match. Not too bad, but I'm surprised seeing that the UK Women's Champion was not on the main card, but I guess really didn't need to have her on the main card in the first place. But it was a solid match. Kaylee Ray is on a high momentum swing as of late. Seems like WWE sees really high in her, and she just came off her win, defending the title at the recent UK pay-per-view, and she came out looking strong tonight, taking on Mia Yim. Good match, but it did feel a bit choreographed at times. That I will agree with you. It kind of came off a little bit choreographed between Balor and Dragunov at the beginning. Once they got more into the match, it looks like they got a little bit more comfortable with each other, and the match got a little bit better. I'll agree with you on that, Spees. Moving on to the next match, was probably so far the shocker of the weekend, which was Jordan Devlin taking on Angel Garza, Isaiah Scott, and Travis Banks in a fatal 4-way match for the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. Funny thing, before the show actually started, I guess they customized the belt a little bit better, and they handed it to Angel Garza at the beginning of the show. Well, by golly, he didn't leave the show with the new NXT Cruiserweight Championship, because we saw Jordan Devlin pick up the huge, I would say, upset tonight in the fatal 4-way match. I would say Travis Banks and Devlin were really showcased in this fatal 4-way. We didn't see much of Angel Garza that much. He was kind of in the background for most of the match. Same with Swerve. It was really about Devlin and Travis Banks. Travis Banks, for a majority of the match, was getting in a lot of the offense. A lot of high spots to the outside with him. also inside the ring as well, to the point to where you thought maybe Travis Banks might be the one who wins the match tonight. I didn't honestly think we were going to get a title change, but it's very weird to see how Angel Garza, in his first match defending the NXT Cruiserweight Championship, loses his first title defense. He didn't really, have any time with the belt. It's kind of a weird booking situation here where they have Devlin, a guy who's in NXT UK at the moment, winning the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. You would have to think, does this mean that he's moving up? Does this mean that maybe Angel Garza is possibly moving up to the main roster? There's a lot of questions out of this match, in my opinion, because Angel Garza looked like a guy that was getting a big spotlight shined on him on NXT. You saw him go through that little series of matches with him and Lio Rush, where you finally saw him win the match. He even had this big old thing after the match where he proposed to his girlfriend. So it looked like he was kind of going to a babyface direction. Seemed like the crowd was really getting behind him each week. And it looked like WWE really saw a lot in him, that maybe he was going to be maybe a future world champion on NXT. But in his first title defense, loses it right off the bat, which is kind of strange. I'm not going to complain about the match because I thought the match was pretty damn good. But it's just weird how they have Angel Garza go out and win in that series of matches against Lio Rush, and then in his first title defense, loses. It's just kind of funky how they had that match go down tonight. But it was a good match. Devlin picks up the win. He even gets on the microphone after the match and pretty much brags about his win, says that he's been saying this for all along. And tonight, he finally proved everybody wrong. We got Dave back. What did you think of the Fatal 4-Way where we saw Devlin pick up the win tonight?
I was surprised, and I was talking in our Discord, which everyone should join that. It's fun. The Getdatables Discord. I was surprised about the title, because we got a new title, so you just mentioned that, and that just surprised me that there was a new title in the mix. And also, I seen the video on YouTube or on Twitter during the match. I'm like, oh, hey, what's it? Garza, here's your new title. By the way, you're losing it. Here's Devlin. Here you go, Devlin. But I was shocked. I think like everyone was. This just seemed like one of those pay-per-views that nothing big was going to happen. Mm-hmm. No, you weren't going to see a title change, and that seems like the least. The Cruiserweight title has always seemed like the least important title in the WWE because they just don't care about what they do with it. It's like there's no real build towards it. But I'm interested in going forward to see what they do. Does Devlin become more primary NXT, US? Or does the division go to the UK? Maybe go back and forth with it like you guys are saying. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens going forward.
Thank you for the exclamation mark Discord. Yes, join our Discord, everybody. We have a nice little Discord going over there. And we usually chat all wrestling all throughout the week. If it's Impact, AEW, NXT, whatever's going on, we talk about it on our Discord. We're going over Worlds Collide tonight as well. So it's very fun, especially if Raw is a 3-hour snoozer. Like it hasn't been lately, but usually it is. We like to chit chat and entertain ourselves over there. What's up, Truth and Loyalty? How you doing tonight, my friend? But thank you for the link droppage in the chat room there, Adam Baum. I was talking about the oddness of Angel Garza losing his first title defense tonight. I was thinking, do you think it's possible that Angel Garza might be moving up to the main roster?
Well, there is the main roster. He's on the main roster. He's on NXT. The hottest night of the...
You know what I mean. The moving up to Raw or SmackDown.
I doubt it. Because unless they're going to put him with... him and Humberto together, with Carrillo, and then maybe they want to add the Latin flavor to Raw going with this U.S. kind of turning the U.S. title into like the Cruiserweight title of WCW in a way, right. Kind of add some Latin flavor to it. So that's a possibility. I didn't think about that because you got Ray and Carrillo, and now if throw Garza in the mix because they're family. I think they're cousins, I believe.
To me, it feels like it's just odd. You wouldn't. It's just, to me, it's kind of odd to have Angel Garza go through the series of matches that he did against Lio Rush, And we're gonna have him have that awesome moment with him and his girlfriend where he proposed to her, and then, boom, he loses his first title defense. It just seems like he had a big spotlight shined on him over on NXT the last couple of weeks, and that maybe WWE sees that he just belongs on Raw or SmackDown, maybe with Andrade or with Humberto or with Ray, whoever have you. It's going to be interesting.
Well, if you look backwards a little bit, when Drew Gulak first won the Cruiserweight title, it was shocking that he dropped it to Lio Rush so fast. And then when Lio Rush dropped it, it was shocking that he lost it to Angel Garza. So it almost seems like they're taking the same pattern with this title. Mm-hmm. Not to bring up WCW again, but it does similar because that WCW Cruiserweight title, a lot of us older fans remember, it was kind of hot potatoed a lot.
Right.
Where it was to be given around to almost everybody. So that's what it almost seems similar to that here.
Also, do you think this is going to be more, we see Devlin a little bit more on NXT now going forward, or do you think this is just their way of kind of splitting the title up between two brands, maybe broadening, making the talent for the NXT Cruiserweight a little bit wider now? Instead of sticking it to just NXT guys, now you can involve UK guys as well.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see that because I assume the tapings for NXT UK going forward, unless they have more in the can already, I would assume they're taping some this weekend for NXT UK going forward. So they've already taped there in Dallas, I assume. So maybe that way you'll feature the UK Cruiserweight title on that show a little bit with just filming them over here, like 2 or 3 episodes, how many they do, and then even feature it possibly this coming week on NXT. So that's always a possibility as well, too.
Yeah, very good point there. What's up, noob? Don't forget, guys, to get on this Royal Rumble contest. It's ! ticket and space 10, and you'll get in on this Royal Rumble contest, and we'll do the number generator at the end of the show.
This match was very good, too.
Which one are you talking about?
The four-way. That was a really good match.
It was a good match. I'll give you that as well. It was a really good match. I thought Travis Banks and Devlin really shined tonight between those 4 gentlemen that were in this match. But let's get to the next match, Dave, which was a classic tag team match where we got DIY taking on Mustache Mountain. This match was given as much time as they were needed. It went 22 minutes long, where we saw DIY pick up the win in a very competitive and I thought awesome match. I even thought at one point Mustache Mountain was going to pick up the win, but we did not see that happen. We saw DIY pick up the win and go on to win the match. And I don't know what's going to happen with them now. I don't know if they're going to stay a tag team or this was kind of a one-night only type of thing. At least they're not going to be teaming anytime soon since you got Gargano and Balor kind of feuding at the moment. What did you think of the match, Dave, and where we saw DIY pick up the win after teaming up after 10 months of not being together?
I thought, like you said, it was an awesome tag match. Yes, there was your spots, but this was more traditional tag team wrestling right here. I mean, it was fun. They got as much, like you said, as much time as they wanted. I thought at one point they were going to win. The Mustache Mountain was going to win as well. I love the spot where Tyler hit I think it was like a version of the Spinal Tap on Ciampa, but then he turned it over on the other guy and pinned him. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, that was the nice little counter Ciampa did. That was nice. That was a brilliant counter, though. I don't think we've ever seen before.
Man, I can't remember the last time I've seen a tag match this good. I'm anywhere. I just can't. I mean, this was such a really put together tag match. It was so good. It could. I know it's still early, but it could be a candidate for tag match of the year if there ever even is a category for that. But man, I mean, this match was really good and fun. But on the other side of it, I think a team like Mustache Mountain should have won simply because they're more of a tag team. These guys just reunited for one night only, if that's the case. Because honestly, I don't think no one wants to see them in the world title or whatever, the NXT men's division title, I guess, division right now. They don't want to see them going for Cole's title. I would much rather see them as DIY and revamping this tag division even more for NXT.
Yeah, it would help the tag division, a lot if they got back together. But I think a lot of people are kind of feeling them as being them by themselves.
See, I don't know, because go ahead.
I didn't realize it was that long since they've teamed up together, but you know, a lot of people like the Gargano and Balor feud going on. They like Ciampa kind of chasing the title right now. I really like them as a tag team, but I'm not gonna say here I want them back together right away. If it happens, it happens. But I like them as singles wrestlers as well.
Yeah, I do too, but I just think, because people seem to say they don't want to see Ciampa beat Cole and take the title from him, because it seems like that's the route they're going to go.
Really? That's interesting. Everybody is in the giveaway right now. Ganicus, Truth and Loyalty, all you guys are in the giveaway right now. The only reason why it's not showing that you are is because I forgot to put the notification to show you guys that you have entered. So everybody that's in right now has entered. That's done the ticket giveaway. Peck and Rod, Hawkeye, Venom, Ringside Rant, Brian, Bill, Speeds, Ganicus, Steven, Noob, and Truth and Loyalty. You all are in the giveaway. If you don't mind sharing the show over on the Twitters as well, so we can get some more guys into this contest. If not, it makes your guys' chances of winning the giveaway a little bit more better. It only shows how Raw and SmackDown are missing great tag team wrestling on the programs. Yes, absolutely. You can even say that for NXT as well. their tag team division is kind of slacking at the moment as well. Noob, you are in the giveaway, my friend. You are in the giveaway. That's why it's telling you you have too many tickets right now. So we have 11 people currently in the giveaway right now. But let's get to the next match, Dave, because this match to me was the letdown match of the night, which was Rhea Ripley taking on Toni Storm for the NXT Women's, yes, but it is not. We'll get into that in a little bit. World's Championship. Rhea Ripley puts on a decent match with Toni Storm and picks up the win over Toni Storm as well. I think this was kind of a very predictable match. I think we all kind of assumed that Rhea Ripley was going to win this match, but the match just wasn't that great, in my opinion. The crowd was pretty much dead because they were worn out from that tag match that was before this match. And it just didn't come off as smooth as their last two matches that Rhea Ripley and Toni Storm has had. Rhea Ripley gets the win. Bianca Belair was at ringside. And they had a little bit of a interaction after the match. Nothing too crazy. We also saw Dakota Kai at ringside at one point before the match started. But Tegan Nox came up behind her and attacked her. Had a little brawl between those two ladies who they will be facing each other on Wednesday night. So I like that part where they're building up between those two ladies for their match on NXT this Wednesday night. And we also saw Mercedes Martinez at ringside as well in the crowd. So she's getting the big spotlight shined her as well. She was in the Battle Royal and then shown on tonight's Worlds Collide.
Do we see her tomorrow? Interesting.
Yeah, we might even see her in the Rumble as well. So that's also a question to be asked at a later date. But what did you think of this match, Dave? I know on Discord you said you wasn't really feeling this match, or it was kind of a letdown. What was your thoughts on this?
Yeah, because you hear going into this, everyone's like, man, I'm really looking forward to Toni Storm and Rhea Ripley. They could have the best match of the night, and I don't even think it went 10 minutes long. And it was just, man, it was a big letdown because I was expecting, after watching every other match on the show, basically get 15 to 20 minutes. Almost pretty much every match before this, I believe. And this match barely does 9 minutes, I think. Maybe
went actually 10 minutes. It went 10 minutes.
Okay, 10 minutes. Still, that didn't seem like enough time, really, because every other match got 12 to 15 minutes. Like you said, the tag match got 20. So it's like, okay. And it just didn't feel like a classic that you would expect from these two. I'm glad I thought, will this match go on last? Even I thought that because of the hype between it. And I'm glad it didn't because it didn't live up to my expectations of the match. And I think a lot of people would agree with that. They were disappointed. They thought it'd be a lot longer and a lot better. Because you expect no kick out or nothing, because usually it's like, okay, one finisher of the match, she'll kick out, right? And no. Because usually you expect nowadays in this wrestling world we live in now, when you hit your finisher one time, unless you're Baron Corbin, you kick out of the finisher. But no, they're protecting her finish too, I guess. So
we'll see. At least it looks like it for the time being.
We'll see at Portland.
it was an awkward ending to the match where she misses the frog splash. Rhea Ripley catches her. What's her finisher move called again?
Eye of the Storm.
Eye of the Storm hits her one time on Tony Storm. Oh, no, is that Tony? That's Tony. What's Rhea Ripley's finisher?
Oh, Riptide.
Riptide on Tony Storm, and it was over. Like you said, usually we get that little kick out, at least one kick out of a finisher, but we didn't get one tonight. That maybe they were kind of low on time because the tag match went a little bit longer than expected, maybe, or they needed time for the main event. I don't know. They didn't give them much time tonight for whatever reason. But yeah, Rhea Ripley got the win in a kind of lackluster women's title match tonight. It wasn't the greatest, at least in our opinions.
Since we're talking about it, do we want to save the other topic with this for after the event?
Yeah, I have a whole thing to say about it. Also, if you're new to the show right now, popping in late, we're doing a Royal Rumble contest. You just have to hit !ticket, and you can put in as many as 10. That way you can get a number drawn in our Royal Rumble contest. We would really appreciate everybody getting involved in that. Right now we have about 12 people in. The max is 30. And the way it goes is whoever gets in the giveaway, I'll grab your name. We'll put the number generator on. And if you pick whatever number you get is who you have in the Royal Rumble tomorrow night. So everybody's goal is to get the number 1 slot. And we'll do that a little bit later on in the show. So let's get on to the main event, Dave, where we did see Imperium take on Undisputed Era. This match went about 29 minutes long. It almost went a half an hour, Dave, where we saw Imperium pick up the win in pretty much a 3-on-4 tag match. And it wasn't booked that way, guys. I know you're kind of like, oh, why? Why did this end up happening? Did they take him out? Or no, what ended up happening was Bobby Fish clocked Alexander Wolf right in the face with a kick and pretty much KO'd the man. Because O'Reilly, I'm sorry, I keep calling him O'Reilly, pardon me. Bobby Fish ends up pinning him, and Alexander Wolf cannot kick out of the pin. The referee quickly sees what the problem is because he knows he's supposed to kick out. The ref's looking at him. He was pulling up the X, and he was out cold. He got clocked right on the chin, and it looked like it pretty much knocked him out, or at least knocked him loopy. And they had to take him out of the match, which made it a 3-on-4 handicap match. And it was still a dandy of a match. It didn't look unbelievable, even though it was a handicap match. I thought all 7 of those guys looked awesome. Eichner was awesome as well. Walter went through a fucking table. We saw so much action in this main event. I enjoyed the hell out of it. What did you think of this main event, Dave, where we saw Imperium pick up the win?
Man, like, going back to what you talked about, man, you can tell something was off because he gets kicked right in the face, and his body went limp. And then when they showed the full cut, they weren't even showing him. Right. They were just showing the top of the referee's head, and that was it. So that's almost how you knew something was really off, because they weren't even showing the guy. And they did show the replay. I wasn't sure if they're going to show the replay of it, because the way they weren't even showing anything. So, and that was just crazy. And I hope he's all right, and hopefully he can come back soon and wrestle for NXT UK. But yeah, this match was one of those crazy, look, we give them crap for it too on the other show, so I'm not giving too much crap. I still enjoyed this, but there wasn't a lot of tags in this match either in the middle of the whole. It was just a clusterfuck, like, not really a clusterfuck, but it was just everywhere. There's no tags. Everyone's just doing whatever they wanted pretty much, but it was fun. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a great action-packed match. And Walter, coming back after that spot was just great. It popped everybody, and he's ready for that hot tag. So yeah, I really enjoyed this match.
What did you think of Walter? It looked like Walter really shined tonight as well. I know he got his fares of getting his ass kicked during the match. I even went through a table, kind of an angle slam type of move through the table by Roderick Strong.
Yep.
But it looked like tonight really established Walter as a monster, as a guy that is a star in NXT, and a guy that people should be on the lookout in the next couple of years in WWE, of a guy that could be a future star, a future world champion, not even on NXT, but on WWE as well. And I know a lot of people were kind of upset about how he was treated on Survivor Series and how he was eliminated kind of quickly.
I heard so was he.
And looked like this was kind of their makeup to him tonight. What did you think of this? What did you think of Walter as a whole in this match tonight?
Yeah, it seems like this was really his coming out, even though I still say he was a star before he got to NXT.
Yeah, absolutely.
But tonight, and yeah, they did showcase him a little bit, but then it seems like he kind of got buried on Survivor Series because they did have the NXT UK stuff. But to be fair, maybe a lot of people just don't watch those UK takeovers because they're either really early in the afternoon and they just forget about watching them. That happens. That can happen with their weekly shows too. So this way you have it in a primetime spot on a big weekend for the Rumble weekend, and you can highlight Walter, and that's really what happened tonight. They highlighted Walter and how he's a big star. And one thing else I noticed about tonight was it didn't seem like Adam Cole was even in the match hardly at all. Till maybe the middle towards the end of it. But yeah, it really didn't seem like he was in this match much. Maybe that was him playing up his character, being afraid of Walter. He didn't want to take another chop, but that worked. But I would absolutely love to see Brock Lesnar and Walter tomorrow. Holy shit.
That would be quite the showdown right there. After tonight, I wouldn't mind seeing Roderick Strong and Walter together in a match. Their little one-on-one action tonight in that tag match was awesome.
Yeah, he can hold his own with those chops, because let's not forget what he did to Daniel Bryan a couple years ago with those chops at the Greatest Rumble.
Yep, that is very true. Noob says, well, at least it's better than other main eventing featuring a certain tag team and rivals from last month, says Noob. But there's this fake list that's trending on Twitter showing Kane winning the Rumble, and people think it's real. Oh.
Probably Cain Velasquez.
You mean that Kane or the other Kane? Which Kane are you talking about? There's also, apparently there's a shirt of Ronda is being sold on the WWE shop.com, and now the people are thinking that possibly she shows up tomorrow, but apparently it was a shirt from last year's WrestleMania. So maybe she is showing up tomorrow night, who knows. But we'll be getting into Royal Rumble here in just a few minutes. Overall, Dave, what did you think of the show of Worlds Collide? I know it's kind of weird to not actually have an NXT takeover tonight before a huge pay-per-view like we usually see. But I thought tonight overall was a good show. I thought all NXT and UK guys looked fabulous tonight. I don't think any of them were squashed. I think the only letdown match to me was the damn NXT Women's Championship match between Toni Storm and Rhea Ripley. For whatever reason, that match just didn't click tonight. What was your thoughts on the whole show, and what was your favorite match of the night?
Oh, that's a good one. This was a great show. And to me, people were complaining about this online too. I noticed that, this doesn't feel like a takeover. This just should have been an NXT episode or something. But to me, this was kind of like their Survivor Series. Right. Worlds Collide. Yeah, this is their Survivor Series. Yes, people said maybe they're going to do something bigger with NXT UK. We don't know, mate. I heard they did get a TV deal, I believe, or something overseas, I believe.
Right.
Like, they're going to be aired on TV and stuff like that, so that's good for them. Maybe that's why they did this too, because WWE is has a global audience. So it's not just about us over here in the U.S. Maybe spotlighting them and this big spotlight helps them over there. So we never know. That could be another reason behind this. But yeah, this show was awesome. I loved it. Top to bottom, other than the women's match. Maybe the only one didn't deliver for me. Match of the night, to me, has to be DIY and Mustache Mountain. That match is just unbelievable.
Okay. I agree with you on that. That match was pretty good. I'm going to have to go with that one as well. I think the tag match was my favorite match of the night. And I thought Worlds Collide was a solid show. It wasn't like a takeover because it's not a takeover. And I thought it was a solid show for being put together like it was. The competition between each brands. and the talent that they brought up to have matches tonight. I thought it was an excellent show, and they delivered, in my opinion, before Royal Rumble tomorrow night.
And they did something I didn't think they were going to do. They surprised me in this show. And it was, to me, watching this show made it fun to be a wrestling fan again, because I wasn't worried about picking apart any match or any wrestlers like we might normally do with NXT or WWE or even AEW. We weren't really picking it apart on this was stupid, it was just fun to watch it. And to have Devlin win the cruiserweight title was surprising. I didn't expect no titles to change hands.
Yeah, that was a nice little surprise tonight. What's up, Mr. AEW? Happy to have you here. Don't forget, we're doing a contest, Mr. AEW, so get on it. ! Ticket, and you can put in as many as 10 tickets. It's just a regular giveaway, and if you get in the giveaway, we'll put your name in a number generator, and whatever number you get will be your superstar tomorrow night in the Male Royal Rumble.
You see what happens? You say AEW and Mr. AEW appears.
Yeah, exactly.